Let's get that out of here, man. All right, we in the house. All right, people, what you doing? My name is Tim Black. Are we up? We're up. Tonight's show is dedicated to my brother Iron Man Oz and my brother Buck Bewley and my sister Black Mamba. Give it up for those folks. What a day. Karmelo Anthony filed an appeal today. Right off the tailspin of what happened with the verdict, the sentencing verdict. We now know 35 years, of which 17 and a half will have to be served in order to even qualify for parole. So, given good time, if everything goes correct or beautiful, based on that sentencing, that's what the young man has in front of him, 17 years. So, this is kind of hard to take that Karmelo Anthony filed today his appeal forms himself. That's right, folks. He filled out his appeal forms himself. And on his appeal forms, he put that he was destitute, broke, penniless, and would be needed and was paying out of pocket. It's very sobering, isn't it? Considering all the money that was raised. I don't know what this means, but he himself filed his appeal by hand. So I want us to sit with that for a moment and just kind of gauge where we're at. That is what's going on, folks. Now, more than likely, at least one of the grounds for an appeal that are going to be filed is something that we've covered on this channel. Almost to the point where I know a lot of you, your eyes were kind of glossing over, like, what is Tim talking about? Yeah, fam, I'm talking about the Batson Challenge. The Batson Challenge, which I brought up when I was discussing this with a right-wing lawyer who thought he was too good to talk to me. This challenge that I talked about when it comes to picking a jury. That's going to, lo and behold, probably be, more than likely be, based on sources that when I did my research, based on sources, not me talking, based on sources, will be the potential grounds for an appeal. The Batson Challenge. And that Batson Challenge in a nutshell is there are rules to putting people on a stand and taking people off the stand in the jury stand. There are rules to knocking people off the jury. You can't do it based on race. You got to find another way around that race thing. So, did the prosecution, did the state, and the judge, did they violate the Batson Challenge when the judge dismissed it and along with it, the 3 black women potential jurors that were slated to be on this jury, which would have changed the dynamics of the court, or the dynamics of the jury anyway, most definitely, to add 3 actual black Americans. 3 actual black Americans to the jury. That may have changed things. We don't know. We have no idea. And that's the whole point. You never know. We don't get to know because they made the decision for us. So there'll be more about that later, folks. So that's the first thing. Other updates in the Karmelo Anthony saga. He's now in isolation. They don't know what to do with the young man. Turns out, the hard-blooded killer, the cold-blooded killer that they made him out to be, no one really knows what to do with a 19-year-old who's never been in trouble before. 3.8, 3.7, 4.0. Guy who was taking college courses since this thing took place, since the killing of Austin. They don't know exactly what to do with him. So where is he at now? Well, they don't know. They don't know where to put him. He's in long-term. His long-term placement is still up in the air. He's in solitary confinement while the system figures out what to do with a black 19-year-old kid who's never been in trouble, who's not gang affiliated, who's never even had a jaywalking ticket, who I say, hey, this was a horrible mistake, a horrible accident. And people say, no, you're just black. Our system don't even know what to do with a kid like this. Makes no damn sense. But since when does it have to make sense? When the system is corrupt and biased against black people. Moving on. Meanwhile, the detractors are celebrating. They're dancing in the streets. I noticed there's been a lot of coverage over pissed off black people. Haven't been much coverage. Excuse me. There's been a lot of coverage about black people being pissed off, protesting and being loud in the streets about it. There's been zero coverage of white people being happy about it, and they've been very happy. I haven't seen white people this happy until they brought back Sex in the City. Yeah, they're very happy right now. Somehow that's not getting reported at all. Isn't it funny? Laura Ingraham didn't want to do a segment on it? The Five isn't talking about it? They didn't invite their coons. Why did I say it like that, man? I know better. Why they invite their usual suspects on the show? Why didn't they invite their usual suspects on the show? To discuss how happy they are. Yeah. What Judge Joe Brown say? Judge Joe Brown said, I hope they wreck him. What in the hornswaggling what in the hornswaggling, swashbuckling, coon shit is that? Yeah, you're not too old to get called out, motherfucker. You're not too old to be called out. I know Dana's over there saying like, oh, I need him to get these numbers, but Jesus Christ, if he don't shut his old ass up, he gonna sink my channel. Live by the sword, die by the sword. I said live by the sword, die by the sword. Imagine putting that in your title of your damn video. I hope they wreck him. You talk about a young black man that's never been in trouble before in his life, who made one horrific mistake. I never seen Judge Joe Brown make that kind of comment about some white motherfuckers. I wonder if he did that when Tyree Nichols, the cops beat the shit out of Tyree Nichols. I wonder if he did that when Daniel Penny choked the life out of Jordan Neely. I wonder if he made a post like that. Sonia Massey had her face blown off. I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't want to get too graphic, but I'm just saying, this is what I deal with. This is what I deal with, guys, being in this business and seeing these people right around my YouTube streets, on the YouTube streets, saying crazy shit. They are. It's no excuse for it. When you make Willie D be my ally, damn. I can't even be mad at Willie D these days. Willie D. Man, I go down here and start naming names and shit, man. What's this responsibility shit? I saw Dennis Sperling. Dennis Sperling. Give it up for Dennis Sperling, y'all. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. I don't have beef. I don't have beef. I have questions. I have questions. Brother, stop telling black people we need to be more responsible. Stop doing that shit. This country racist as hell. Okay? Stop doing that. Stop acting like all problems that we have are self-induced. Don't do that. Brother, stop. Stop this shit. Cut the cap. Stop this shit. What, nobody else gonna say it? Nobody else want drama? I don't want drama, but I got questions. What possessed you to say this shit? Stop saying black people need to do shit. We don't need to do a goddamn thing today that we weren't supposed to do the day before or the year before or 10 years earlier. You understand what I'm saying? Stop taking this opportunity to say all the shit we need to work on. Oh, Lord, we need to get our shit together. Motherfucker, there's been a lot of things that ail the black community, and I understand that. Now's not the time to bring him up because this shit did not happen because the black community, this is an isolated event that took place, a horrific, isolated event. This is not a harbinger, and two other things. This is not the canary in the mine shaft. If that white boy kept his hands to himself, everybody has a happy Christmas and a pleasant New Year. So bump what you heard. Sound like Karmelo Anthony was a ticking time bomb running around with a gun, with a knife, looking at people to stab and shit. Stabbed one guy, the guy that put hands on him. And I know it's bad. I know it's bad. And here's something else. I would like everyone to do for me. Do me a favor. Every time you say something critical of one side, you don't gotta go. You have no duty or obligation to go on the other side and try to clean that shit up. Let's stop doing that. I hate that. Every compliment is met with a backhanded diss, a slick diss. Every horrific, every judgment about the dominant society, about what happens with corrupt cops and corrupt courts, and they're corrupt as shit. I got a good friend of mine right now who can't even get his medical coverage right, and he has money. He in actual pain, can barely sit up, can't even walk because his back went out, and they don't want to give him any medication because he doesn't have a general practitioner, doctor, or whatever. And he's white. They think he's going to get high with it, sell it for drugs, sell it for money to go buy more drugs, put it on the black market. And there I thought it only happened to black women. But my point is this, man. It's fine to say, look how shitty this is in Texas, what they did to that young man, they railroaded him. You don't then have to say, but Karmelo could do better because, we just got to train them better. We got to spend time with our kids and we got to teach. Motherfucker, we both got kids. We spend time with our kids. You spend time with your kids, Dennis, Esquire. I spend time with my kids. Black men spend more time, when they're with their families, they spend more time with their kids than any other group. We both know this, right? Stop saying that shit right now. Say it later. Just say it later. Everybody can always improve. That's got nothing to do with this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with where we at right now. Right now, we need to circle the wagons and support our people. That's what we need to do. We don't need to be talking about what black people need to do. The only thing black people need to do is get our money up. That's it. That's all. This is money. Money and power. Okay. Woo, we came out hot out the gate here. Came out a little hot out the gate. I'll admit I came out a little gangbusters. My brother Mike told me, man, said my show be boring and shit. I had to take that to heart. He said, oh, your show's boring. It's like, what? Oh my God. What you talking? Me? I'm boring? You must not be watching the rest of these motherfuckers. Some of these people talk like they are asleep. But they knew. But okay, you know what? I'm gonna take it on the chin. Okay, fine. So now we're gonna pump it up. I like rapid fire delivery. I can talk. I'm verbose. I got words, fam. Some of my contemporaries that for some reason are really big can't talk so fluidly. They don't even they have no tonality, no gestures. They just See, I finally got rid of my nasal thing. I finally got the right medication dosage, so I talk a little bit more out my chest than I do out my nostrils. It was medical, baby. The point is this: we are jamming tonight. We are jamming tonight, fam. We are jamming tonight. So, there was crowds clashing outside the courthouse after the verdict. A lot of people that were been there and they're very much emotional. They were devastated by the announcement that Karmelo Anthony will be receiving 35 years. They were devastated to hear about the murder verdict to begin with, and then to get the sentencing right after that. Wasn't ready for that either, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Because typically sentencing takes a while. That's like something they kind of circle back and do. They wanted to give us a whole shot right then, huh? This is what we doing, huh? This is what we doing. Just crush the blacks. Crush the blacks. Don't you love it how the whitest of white people are talking about, this had nothing to do with race. Yeah, and the Knicks loss had nothing to do with the Spurs. You know, we saw what they did, right? Yeah, man. Any more updates? So the verdict was yesterday. Today, Karmelo was in isolation, filling out his appeal form because he's broke. The Batson challenge that you covered all week is now the centerpiece of his appeal. Thank you, Tim Black. Thank you. Thank you.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah. Your brother's ahead of the curve. You understand what I'm saying? Because I've been talking about this Batson challenge. No, I don't need you to. Don't do that for me.
I appreciate the sentiment, Tim.
I didn't. I wasn't talking to you. I'm reading notes. What else? Is that it? I think that's it. Anything else? The people celebrating got their pound of flesh, and a 19-year-old boy won't be eligible for parole until he's 35 years old. At least. 36. 37. Sit with it. Sit with it. Sit with it. Slow down and embrace that one, man. That's serious shit. A 19-year-old won't be eligible for parole until he's 36. Karmelo Anthony is being held in isolation protective custody at the Collin County Jail. He's being kept away from the general population for safety reasons. He will soon transfer to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. First to intake in Huntsville for classification, then to a unit somewhere in the state. Life comes at you fast. You know, when I say that we don't need to hop on these things with the community news to work on, it just sounds coonish. Because it's not the time to say it. It's not that it's not true. All communities could do some work. All of them. Let's not talk like it's only us. Somebody's community need to learn to keep their hands to their goddamn self. Somebody's community need to learn that. But you know, far be it for me to say that, because, you know, I don't want no trouble. What the hell? So tonight on this show, we're going to be addressing this, the Karmelo Anthony verdict fallout. The Wolfpack community is going to sound off right back. I got a through line here that I want us to follow up on, and I want us to all take a deep breath for a moment, realize where we are, and realize this is why politics does matter. Political capital, if we had it. The one that Roland keeps saying we got all this political power. They're trying to take our power. You know, if we had some power, right now would be a good time to summons it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Roland said we got all this political power that they're trying to get rid of. Well, I'm just saying, if we got power, why aren't we using it to keep this young man? Why couldn't we use it to keep this young man from getting railroaded in court? Maybe we don't have all this political power that Roland's talking about. They didn't seem worried at all. And Rick Child didn't seem at all bothered than a mother. He seemed fine. He looked to me like he was about to go play some dominoes after this shit. So we had all this political power, Roland. What you been doing with your life? I mean, you brought on Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. Where's the political power? You mean you can't call them up and get nothing done? What good are you then? What good are you? Doing this 30 years and what you got to say for it? Some money. Some money. Roland, you've been doing this shit for 30 years. Let me just say this. Let me be petty for a second. Roland Martin's been doing this show for 30 years. Has he created any great speakers? I'm just saying, it's got a platform for 30 years, right? Maybe not 30, 20 years? Okay, 20 years. Has he created any, I don't know. Like, what does he put into the ether? What does he put into the environment? Seems like all he's done is put money in his pocket and endeared himself to the political party called the Democrats. That's about it. I mean, because, every time I criticize Roland, there's always somebody, well, what have you done? Criticize Roland. In the whole goddamn system every day that this mic works. He put Randy on, and Randy was on TikTok looking extra high yellow. He put her on. So people could look at her and go, she's really light-skinned. This is great. She says the same shit Roland does, but prettier. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tim Black Show. We're the most dangerous show in America. Why? Because we don't own nobody's shit, and we make sure they know it. We ain't scared of people. We ain't scared of parties. We ain't here to kowtow to parties. We ain't kissing nobody's ass. We don't rock with the Democrats or the Republicans. That's why people love me, and that's why people hate me. Shout out to the people out there holding it down and know what time it is. Those people that matter to the movement and to what we're trying to do. They get it. We don't turn down nothing but our collar. Want to support us? Go to TimBlackShow.com. I'm sorry, TimBlackTV.com. TimBlackTV.com. In fact, folks, I want to let everybody know while I'm thinking about it. Can we do this while we're thinking about it? Because, I'm getting old. I might forget later. All right, so I got a newsletter that I'm putting out every week. I've been doing this for a minute. Get the Tim Black Show official newsletter. All you got to do to get it is go to TimBlackTV.com. You'll see my contact form. In the subject, put newsletter. Newsletter. And I will send you the newsletter now. It's weekly. All right? Get my weekly updates, free giveaways, and digital downloads. Yep. Go to TimBlackTV.com and contact. You'll see the tab for contact. There's a form. Put your name in the form, your email address, I should say. Your email address, fill out the form, put your email address, and that gives me permission to send you the form or send you the newsletter, and I will do that. Capiche? Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. Okay. I got my moderators in the house. I think I do. I want to thank my brother, Rain of Tears, for being on the fly the other day. Good up for Rain of Tears, y'all. So when I talked to my big brother, my little brother, Iron Man Oz, he was telling me he was in a chat doing my surprise midday show, reacting to the verdict in the sentencing of Karmelo Anthony. And he said, wow, man, my moderators was working hard as hell, throwing people out by the boatloads. So I had two moderators on deck for that surprise show. One was my son. Thank you, son. Yeah, that's something when somebody gives you a shout out, someone notices, hey, man. And the other was Rain of Tears who came through. Now, I don't know who was doing such a great job, so I think it was both of you. Thank you for holding it down. I know we were overwhelmingly hit by the trolls, man. People that were at work, people on the toilet, on their phone, mad. And it's crazy? We got a lot of people that are mad who were rooting for Karmelo Anthony to go to jail, and they still mad. You know how many N-words I've been called this week? They're making an N-word record. Yeah, I thought I ain't heard this many N-words since the NWA verse. by MC Ren, Ice Cube, and Easy E. Easy. Because life ain't never been easy. EL. All right, y'all. We're going to do this, man. We're going to do this tonight. We're going to get into it. Yeah, I got some content. Let's jump into it, fam. Once again, now look, Cash App, PayPal, whatever you do. Tonight's show is brought to you by the one and only Saga Metals. Saga Metals is my sponsor of tonight's show. Thank you for supporting this independent media platform that does not kiss a assa. No assa kisser. No kissy assy to any political party. Y'all ready? Yeah, y'all ready. Man, he said Tim Black talking that stuff. Hey, man, we got to shake it up, man. Nothing but a little tough love. Nothing but tough love. Where we at? Let's get into it here. Where we at? On streams? We're on stream? Is that it? Is that going to be where it's at? Here we go.
In the mid-afternoon over there where he was found guilty. And normally what happens is that there is a sentencing hearing. It could sometimes be weeks or months later, but the trial court immediately went into a sentencing phase with that jury then quickly deciding that he would receive 35 years for this murder.
Yeah, they didn't want you black folks to think for a second they wasn't going to get off your ass. They wanted you to know they was going in for the kill right away. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. Y'all touch another one I get, old boys. We take your whole family out. They were sending a message. A message.
What was on the table was somewhere between 5 to 99 years based on sentencing guidelines, but he ended up getting 35 years.
When will he be eligible for parole?
So about halfway through, 17 and a half years roughly, based on good behavior and things like that. So obviously that's a number that the family of the victim is not happy with. They believe he should be in prison much longer, but there's plenty of people who are supporting Karmelo Anthony. This is a case that really had a huge impact on the community there. A lot of people rallying to Karmelo Anthony's defense, saying that he shouldn't have gotten that much time at all. So this is very much a split community based on the way this trial played out. $635,000 was donated for what the company in charge of raising that money called pre-trial needs and current trial needs. But the company that was collecting those donations on behalf of the Anthony family has said since in a statement that they have closed that, even as people have continued to try and give donations to the family for what they said were legal costs in all of this. But clearly that tells you, Perry, the amount of interest, the amount of people taking really an active look at this case and ultimately choosing to donate to Anthony's legal needs.
Yeah, and also, not for nothing, right? So one of the talking points on the right that if you on any social media site, you want to be confronted with this if you discuss this case, is this narrative that the Karmelo Anthony family has ran through the money and went on shopping sprees and bought houses and cars and things of that nature. Now they were saying this, back in 2025 when the story first broke, when the account was first set up. So, I found no confirmation of such, right? That being said, it does seem like a whole lot of money that the young man has to go file indigent. But maybe that's a strategy. Maybe that's what you do because he's 19 and that money, I don't know. Did they just pay these lawyers, this crack team of lawyers he had, $500,000? I would hope not. Yeah, I tend to believe the legal representation that Karmelo Anthony had in this current iteration, you could have got that for $20,000 in a box of food stamps or some coupons or some shit. A coupon to Five Guys. That's what I'm saying. That looks like the expertise added up to pretty much nothing. In fact, I got a video that someone's going to bring up an important thing that was never discussed by the defense, an important element that should have been brought up. In fact, it's so derelicting It's such a dereliction of duty, I should say. Derelicting. It seems like a dereliction, like they really were negligent when it comes to certain points. And we're going to address that, Johnson, because we want to do that. So let's keep pushing because we don't want to be boring. Let's keep going.
How significant within Black America do you feel like is the sentiment defending Karmelo Anthony?
Some of the people that we've seen talking are saying this. They're making this a racial issue, and they're siding with Karmelo simply because he's Black.
Yeah, this is a running theme that I've seen in the swashbuckling Sambos. They've all come up with this conclusion that anybody who, anybody that supports Karmelo Anthony is doing so only because he's Black. It couldn't be because they just think that the young man should have not had anyone put hands on him, and that his response to someone putting hands on him is going to be what it's going to be. Now, we wish that it would have just been a hit in the shoulder or flesh wound or maybe no wound at all, but there are a lot of reasons why somebody can support. So let me get this right. So you think it's racism if people support him just because he's Black? Is it racism to not support him? Maybe the people that aren't supporting him are not supporting him because he's Black. Yeah, I know your head's about to explode, Jeff. I know. You can't even wrap your head around that because that's impossible. Because if I'm right, and I know I am, motherfucker, but if I am right, hold it, that means that racism does exist. And then there's no need for you because your whole purpose, your entire purpose, your whole sense of being is that you saying that racism don't exist and it's a figment of Black people's imagination. And all the problems that Black people got are because Black people believe in this thing that don't exist. So Fox is really great at employing people that shit on Black America all day for their money, who tap dance in the field of white people's dreams of what Black people are like. And they get the worst Black people. They don't get Black people that were cool in college or high school, were popular or hung out with the cool set. They always seem to get the same Negroes. Don't they? They get the same ninjas. The ninjas, this guy right here. Anybody ever mistake him for being one of the cool motherfuckers? Yeah, I know it's popular to say our culture's broken now, right? But see, here, this is my theory. People like this guy, not him, yeah, this guy. The real problem is that when he was around Black people, if he ever was really around Black people, because it's possible he's not been around, like in a Black environment, a mostly Black environment. The thing is, he's had some trauma because some Black people didn't accept him. So first chance he got, he put out a knife way before Karmelo did and was stabbed. He's been stabbing us all in the back constantly on Twitter, on Facebook, on any platform he can, because that's where he gets noticed. Because it's a commodity to be a sellout Black ninja. Yeah. So my point is, the Fox News is scooping up these degenerates, and I'm gonna call them degenerates because they never have any criticism for white people at all. Imagine seeing all these white people. You know, the majority of America's white, and when was the last time you saw him put out content shitting on somebody white? You don't have a mumbling word to say about these people. So, yeah. But yeah, their through line, their talking point is, it's Black people that are racist, not white people. Now, we know they got a track record of it, but hey, they broke the mold. All those racist people died last year. Or 5 years ago, whatever Jeff Mead is peddling today. So he's not alone. In fact, his talking points are very, very similar to another swashbuckling Sambo.
Karmelo Anthony.
Some of the people that we've seen talking are saying this. They're making this a racial issue, and they're siding with Karmelo simply because he's Black.
Some of the people that are talking or saying this, they think they're so articulate just because they sound like they want to take all the soul out their voice. Man, it don't matter how well you dictate. it don't matter how much you use the Queen's English and you punctuate, because you ain't saying shit. Nothing you say is interesting. You just try to say it really smooth. Here goes one.
Brandon, the screaming notwithstanding, is there any there?
Well, Laura, this is when you're raised to be a propagandist and you're raised with lies and hatred and true racism, because I think the racism is coming from one side. How in the world?
Yeah, see, told you. When you're raised to be a propagandist, that's what happened with black people. We're raised to be propagandists. Okay, no propaganda for white people, huh? Don't exist. It's interesting. Just us, huh? And racism's only coming from one side. Yeah, just us. You know, black people can't deny white people anything in America. I mean, well, one thing. But majorly speaking, we really can't deny you anything. I mean, we don't own enough of anything, any industry, to lock you out of industry. We can't redline you out of your neighborhoods. We can't mess up your water or your air. We can mess up your viewing experience at a movie theater. And I'm being funny with that one, right? Because I'm going to be real, sometimes we mess it up for ourselves too. In the movie theater, just because we talk to the screen. White people talk to the screen too, but they go, oh, they do a lot of that shit. That's annoying. I prefer somebody go, Ryan. I prefer that type of messing up. I digress. The point is this. Brandon Tatum is a spoon. Him and this other guy, their total existence in being on Fox News is to say everything is about black people. We did it. We're the racists. There's no racism in the white America. It all went away when Trump got elected. All the racism in America evaporated, or it all ran to one side of one corner of the society, and that's black society. You know how many of these people I've been running into lately? It's just, they're everywhere. These roaches are everywhere, fam. I mean, damn. It's like an infestation. I'm ready to drop the raid bomb up in this mofo, just fumigate from the sellouts. They are everywhere, fam. That's one thing Trump has done. He put out them sellouts, man. Them sellouts, woo! They looking for that gravy train, man. They are drooling with anticipation. So Brandon Tatum is here. He's blaming black people for anything and everything. And I put it back out there, folks. The thing is this. I want to flip this. I want to say, you know what? I have no problem with black people that support Karmelo Anthony because he's black. I got no problem with that. You are no worse than white people that support, insert name, Daniel Penny because he's white. Kyle Rittenhouse because he was white. So many white people who have done things that they support because they're white. They don't even have to know who did it. I love the Dave Chappelle analogy. Well, not analogy, but in his recent comedy special, he brought up Jack Johnson, how Jack Johnson, the term the great white hope came from Jack Johnson, the famous boxer Jack Johnson, who was knocking white people out like free lunch. And all of white America was so mad that they had this ninja knocking them out. They couldn't believe this dirty, filthy black person's hands were knocking out good old white boys. That they went on a search for a white hope. They were hoping to find somebody white that could beat him, and they just couldn't do it. So they invented a law to lock him up, because there's more than one way to get rid of a winner. The other thing was, after Jack Johnson beat up white guys in the ring, the next morning we found black people strung up on trees, lynched by white people who were just upset because they didn't like their guy losing. And in light of that, I wonder what would have happened. Yeah, I'm wondering now. It's got me wondering. It's got you wondering? You know where I'm going with this one, Mike? What would have happened? What would have been the repercussion if Karmelo Anthony would have been set free? Is it possible there would have been retaliation to Black America if he would have been freed? Just a question. You know what, y'all? I know this is a very dark question, but I got to ask the question because, first of all, I'm original. I didn't bite this from anybody. It's just a thought that it's in my cerebral, in my brain. Cerebellum, that's the word. But I think it's an important point to point out, don't you think, that this is an important issue to highlight because we can't put it past them. It's in their history. It's in their history. It's what they do. They retaliate against us. They get to feeling a certain kind of way. I mean, remember, this whole thing started because Karmelo Anthony had the audacity to sit under a tent that this white kid didn't buy. That he asked for permission to sit at before the white boy came. Then the white guy comes and he says, get out of here. There were white people there before he came there. They didn't have a problem. But suddenly they got a problem because this guy says they should have a problem. These are the people we're dealing with. And what I'm saying is, if Karmelo Anthony walks free, would some other Black mothers and fathers be forced to suffer the loss of their child? Because we know people, we go missing all the time. The most missing, the most snatched, missing, kidnapped, trafficked people in America are Black. Black. So we're going to say we're kidnapping ourselves? You know, being Black all my life, I don't think there's a lot of Black people looking for more Black people to feed, clothe, or house. I'm just saying because of our economic situation. I'm just saying. I don't think we got a lot of factories to put people in. I don't know. That's real dark. The point is this. Let me put this out here. Is it possible that we dodged a bullet? We just say no, the bullet was coming. Is it possible, as grave, as horrific as this is, and I'm not saying we sacrifice it, because it was up to me, y'all know my verdict. I believe it was self-defense. At the best, it was self-defense. At the least, it was mitigating circumstances that would have resulted in, 2 years, maybe some probation. Do some cleanup on the side of the road and feel really bad about what you did, you know. I mean, that's more than Daniel Penny got, and he killed a guy in front of the entire subway train. And never apologized. He was saving people. So back to my point, damn it, folks. Is it possible that if Karmelo Anthony would have walked, some other people, some other innocent Black, particularly Black men, may find themselves unalived in the dark of night, and with policemen finding them and going, I don't know what happened. Looks like he just wanted a ticket out. Nothing to see here. How do you get all the way up there without someone helping them? I don't know, man. I just think things because I don't put it past them. I mean, there is a definite history when Black people beat white people at anything. There are some white people, not all, of course. Not all. We never talk in absolutes. And I know there are people that get offended when I say stuff like this. That's because it resembles them. That's what it is. Because if it's not you, it's not you. You know, you're not a bigot and a racist, and you don't have fetishes, and you don't visualize and fantasize about doing harm to other people because of race, and this is not about you, right? So why would it bother, you know? I know it's disgusting. It's not a great, doesn't make you feel good inside to hear the conversation, but to take it personal like I'm discussing you and I'm criticizing you, that's crazy because this ain't got nothing to do with you. You know, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. The point is, I'm just being straight up, family, and I'm just saying, white people have a history, some white people have a history in a society of getting payback on Black people when Black people win something. I mean, look what they did with the OJ. I mean, OJ won his freedom, and what did they do? They kept that They came right back around and got his ass. Like Final Destination. Now, he helped them. R.I.P. Juice. What I'm saying is, maybe we should consider that was a possibility as well. And we'll never know because we're not in that situation. I'm just saying. I just thought I'd give you something different to think about because I haven't heard it discussed, and that's good. That means when you hear people talk about it, they got it from this show. Please make them give me credit. That would help a lot, guys, because I've been noticing people I don't know, we all think alike, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? Or they just be watching my show, and then the next day they did record their content. I don't know what's going on, man. You know, I don't know. I mean, there was one guy who was doing that. I don't know if he still does it. I don't know if he still does it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, family. In fact, give me a 1 if I make sense. 0 if you think I'm tripping, but 1 if you think, hey, you might have something there. And I know it's a hypothetical. It's just, they're very, I mean, do you see the vitriol and the anger of these people online? I know you've seen it because you're watching me online. So you're one of the people that be online. You've seen how angry they are. That's with them winning. That's with them getting the verdict they wanted. I mean, he's a first-time offender. It would be unheard of for him to get the death penalty. He got 35 years. The family is happy. They're jumping for donuts. They're happy as hell. They're happy like a pig in slop right now. That's what I read. They're very happy with the result, with the 35 years. But look online at the good old boys and the good old girls. Look at them. Pissed. That's with winning. Imagine what they would be if they lost. Yeah, imagine that. Remember, guys, I'm looking for the engagement on this one. Hit the like button if you haven't hit a like button on this broadcast yet. It's worth it. No spilled, no warmed over opinions, no half-baked, nonsense. We having a conversation, a good conversation between us two. And I've got a feeling that I'm onto something. Let's keep going, fam. Let's keep going.
The minority makeup of this jury, we think, was about a third to half minority. Okay. Now, what did they have? They had all kinds of video. They had body cam footage. They had witnesses.
Hey, hold on a second here, guys. I wanted to talk about this so badly. I'm so glad Glenn Beck gives me this opportunity to address this. Damn, I've been itching for this one. This is a good one. Man, let me get a running start at this shit, man. Let me get into this. Check this out, Glenn Beck. I'm used to you. First of all, I'm not used to you, being not typically when I see you, you're crying about some shit. So I'm proud of you for putting on your big boy pants and not crying like a blubbering idiot. Because that's what you do best. That's really what you're known for. Whining and shit. So that's good to see you. You're not an alpha male yet. You're still a beta male, but at least you hold your tears in until you get home to your lover when he puts you in his arms and kisses you lightly on the forehead. Now, Asian people are not black, dummy. You goofball. You moron. You idiot. You imbecile. You fuckhead. Black people are black people. Now, black American people are a distinct group. I don't give a shit if they were Indians, Eskimos, midgets, circus clowns. I don't care who was there. Were they black American or not? We just had an Asian guy, Chinese. We just had an Asian guy who just walked after blowing a hole in a 14-year-old black boy's back, who he said made him afraid. And now you up here saying like less than 48 hours later, you're going, well, there weren't any black people on there, but we had minorities. Come to the head of the class, Glenn. I'm black. I'm not a minority. Get it? Remember black? Those guys, your wife, when you had one, if you had one, I don't know. Those guys your wife has fantasized about being with? The ones you lock your door when they walk past your door. I'm black. We don't much give a shit about Indians and Native Americans and Asians being on the jury. What we cared about is if there were black Americans on the jury. Because we think that now bear in mind it's not a perfect science, okay? Because we have our list of Sambo soldierettes and soldiers. I know that. Okay? We've got an Officer Tatum. We've got whatever this guy is, and with the bad hairline and the bad fake accent or whatever that is he's got going on. We got devoid of soul, darkens. We have these people. So I know just because they're black, it doesn't, and some people say, Tim, devoid is not black. I looked it up. I provided you with evidence. That's what Google said. I don't know if you're black. You're probably right. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. I'm just saying I did research on it, and they said he was African-American. That's what they say. The point is this. Glenn Beck, we much don't give a shit about other people being on that jury except us because we feel, except for the sellouts, other black Americans have an affinity for themselves. Like it's like self-preservation as well as understanding having a shared culture of survival, all right, a survival in this United States of America. And they will be more sensitive to the railroading of a black young man. Capiche? So it is a false narrative. Yes, there were people of color on your fucking jury, but we don't want people of color. The only people that aren't people of color are you. So that's not good enough, sir. We need black people on the jury. At least one. You could have threw us a bone, got you a sellout like Brandon Tatum, and sold this right on up, and then we wouldn't be able to say it's much. At least token-wise, you would have been able to say it was a black person on the jury. See? Isn't that what your whole purpose of having Brandon Tatum? I mean, he's not linguistically creative. He's not tonality interesting. He doesn't make relevant points that hit home. He talks slow and talk like. What other good use is he? What use is he? What good is he? What's the utility of a sellout if you're not going to use him and throw him on a fucking jury that's quiet black folks? So you could have went out and got some. Or you could have talked to the people in charge of the White Hood to go get some black people to be on that jury. You didn't. So you don't get to move the goalpost. The goalpost is what we say it is. The goalpost is not what you say it is, dumbass. The goalpost is what we want. And what we wanted was a black American on a damn jury. Y'all stop acting like everybody in my league when they not. I'm coming for their heads, and here's the thing. Here it is. It's a problem. It's why I'm a problem. Because I only have one allegiance, that's us. And I ain't here to kiss no party ass. And I've already been kicked to the curb so many times. I'm not interested in getting on the curb. I'm good in the street. I'm outside. I'm outside, and I like being outside, like Bodie in The Wire. I'm outside. So that means y'all can't hide because ain't no sacred cows. Back to Glenn Beck. Glenn, we're going to keep going because you want to say some other foul shit I'm probably going to have to correct. But get it right, and this goes for all you Neanderthals talking this bullshit about, well, it's not all white because it was a woman. She looked like she might have been Latino or Bermudan or Brazilian. Did they look black to you? That's all we want to know. Were they black American? They weren't? Okay, thank you. In the press conference. Okay? That's what's important. Am I right about that, guys? Isn't that what we interested in? We don't much care about. These people don't like us. You know, I got a clip later on that's going to really demonstrate what I'm talking about with this. It's going to substantiate even more firmly my point of view on this. I don't know what Glenn thinks that all minorities are like, kumbaya. I didn't know you were a Democrat, dum-dum. That's Democrat dumb shit. Where they pretend that blacks, Latinos, Asians, Native Americans, all of us is like one gang. They ain't even a gang within their own group. Dum-dum. They'll just be making up shit. Latinos don't rock with us like that, and neither do Asians. They despise us. They can't stand us, generally speaking. They're very racist. Okay? Ricardo Ignacio, go find him on Facebook. He talks all the time about Latinos and the hatred they have for black Americans. Go find his page. I recommend Ricardo Ignacio's page. Dope page. Shout out, Ricardo. All right, let's keep going, man. Glenn Beck's going to say some more dumb shit. I'm going to have to correct him. You know how it is.
They had the medical examiner's testimony about that single fatal wound to the heart. And it wasn't long before the jury just, there was no murky facts here to debate. It was a clear case of escalation, a knife brought to a teenage verbal spat under a team tent in a rain delay. And there were words, a push.
He says dumb things. And see, this is what I'm talking about, fam. This is how messed up America is. You can have a guy like Glenn Beck, no skill, no real ability, just white and doughy, and you know what I'm saying, and using talking points. Motherfucker, he didn't bring the knife to a fight. He had the knife already. He didn't like, oh shit, I'm getting into an argument. Let me go buy a knife from Walmart. I'll be right back. Now that's shit you do. That's what you do when you get fired from your shit job, Glenn. That's what your demographic does when they just find out they're getting their hours cut. Okay? No, he already had it on him. And I'm thinking, I'm being creative here, but I'm wondering what made Karmelo feel the need to have the knife on him. And if I could do one thing different, if I could counsel, if I could have been a bug on the wall, or better yet, if I could have been phone a friend, I wish they would have phoned me and I would have asked them, or I would have questioned them on why didn't Karmelo take the stand. Because y'all using all these talking points, saying crazy shit. I would just like him to express why he bought the knife. There's a reason. People buy guns, people bring guns, people carry guns, people bring tasers and mace. There's a reason why people do shit. I mean, was he going to be cutting some straws? What was the knife for? But don't say it like he brought it to the fight. He already had it, dum-dum. And see, that's the thing, man. Do you think people that gobble up the nonsense that Glenn Beck says? I mean, first of all, anybody that watches Glenn has to be over 80 years old. Probably on a respirator. Or someone looking to go to sleep, because that's the purpose of watching it, Glenn Beck. You are tired and you want something to drift off into sleepville with. That's the purpose of watching a Glenn Beck segment. I'm forcing you to watch it, but it's for good reason. I'm just here to roast him and to call out the bullshit, chicanery, and nonsense that they are privy to. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get what I'm saying here? That makes sense. He's saying it like Karmelo brought the knife to a argument. He already had it, right? So it's just disingenuous. And see, this is why they never invite me on shit, because I would make him stop. And I would get into his ass. And not the way he'd like. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to be a problem. So they don't really want to have no conversation. I've gotten into it with Glenn Beck online before. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. Pretty popular. Like I've been at it with these people. I forget what the issue was, but I think Tommy Lauren was on his channel at the time. That's what led to me roasting the shit out of Tommy Lauren in person after I went on her show and debated her. At the time, I was kind of defending Black Lives Matter in a way, but not really. Like, I was defending black people. You know what I'm saying? I was defending black people. And Tommy Lauren was the new Megyn Kelly for like 2 seconds. Then Megyn Kelly fell off, and then Tommy fell off, and then, I don't know. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked, fam. Where we at? All right, let's go. I know, fam. Hard to follow.
And a deadly response. What they got him with is a law in Texas where it was a disproportionate response. That's what it was. Because he was claiming self-defense, and they were like, yeah, if anybody pushed anybody, you don't stab the guy in the heart.
If anybody pushed anybody, no, not if anybody pushed anybody. See, this is how you beat these guys. I've been trying to tell you, man, they're not that smart, man. It's just nobody stops them. They let them spew nonsense. No, you don't let them spew nonsense. Make them have to repeat the dumb shit. Excuse me? You do the Eddie Murphy on him. Excuse me? Italian man. Like Eddie Murphy in that skit where the Italian man was stopping, he just saw Rocky, and he was like, hey, Mooley, buy my beer, pay for my popcorn. I'm sorry, why am I talking about that? I'm tripping. The point is, he just said that Karmelo Anthony, he made it seem like if somebody pushed somebody. No, somebody didn't push somebody. Austin pushed somebody. The white guy pushed the black guy, and the black guy said, don't do this shit no more. Just don't hit me. And then he went to do it again, and that's when he got stuck. It wasn't, I don't know, if people are pushing each other, that's not a reason to stab anyone. Motherfucker, I stand by it. If Karmelo Anthony was the victim, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I've been charitable because I said if Karmelo Anthony was the victim and he was bigger than Hunter. But even if he wasn't, all you gotta do is be blacker. All you gotta do is be a black American. See the difference? See the difference here? Yeah. Yeah, so let's not leave it vague. We know who pushed who. It was in a testimony, Glenn. You see how they lie to their viewers, they omit facts to their viewers. He could have very easily have said, yeah, even when Austin pushed you, that was no reason for you to stab him. He didn't say that. He said if someone was pushing someone, stabbing would not be an adequate response. It would be a disproportionate aggressive response. Yeah, because it was a white guy who got stuck. If it would have been the other way around, we all know if it was the other way around, Austin would have went up and he would have. See, that's why I'm upset, because I know if it was the other way around, folks, I know Austin would have took the stand in his own defense and start crying like Rittenhouse. And that's something I got problems with, because I feel like Karmelo could have went up there and did the waterworks. Could have went up there and did the waterworks. They do it. They do it. Remember Rittenhouse? That bullshit he was doing? It may not have worked, but it could. I could tell you this. It may not have worked, and that's true, fam. Family, it may not have worked, but you know what? I don't think it could have hurt. I don't think he can do much worse than what happened. He got the murder charge. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And the council had to know they needed a knockout. They had to know where they were. We're going to get further into the defense, the tactics of the defense, but I'm just saying. All right, Glenn Beck. Let's keep going with Glenn Beck. We're almost done with him, okay, guys? I'm not going to torture you with much more Glenn Beck. I promise.
Jury saw through the narratives, focused on the truth because it was all right there at his face. And in a world drowning in spin, this is a powerful reminder that facts still matter when good people are willing to weigh them honestly. Now, let's talk about the appeal. Is there going to be an appeal? Absolutely. With real credibility? No, probably not. They're going to attempt, the defense teams are going to, challenge the jury composition, and, there's no black jurors seated despite the racial tensions and all of that stuff. But any credibility behind any of this? I don't think so. Prosecutors struck jurors for race-neutral reasons like occupations and prior experiences. The evidence wasn't thin, it was stacked. The appeals court, at least in Texas, they look for legal errors. They don't retry facts. They look for legal errors. And the verdict was pretty solid on self-defense, proportional force. But here's what was said on the streets. Now, this one is, the first one I'm going to play is a Next Generation Action Network.
Okay, so let me address this, fam. Let me address this. And I'm going to take some time. I'm going to say this clearly so everybody understands it. When it comes to the jury selection and composition that he's referring to, there is grounds. And the grounds is the challenge that was made when the jury selection, when the prosecution released the three jurors, the three black women, educators, there was a challenge that was initiated. The defense offered a challenge to the judge on the basis of those three black women, and they had to prove that they weren't striking them from the court because of race. So the race-neutral reason they say that they were striking them was due to their occupations. It was due to occupations. And they said, well, these two are students and they're teachers, so they're not going to want to find a student guilty of anything because they are teachers. Yeah, but the victim was a student. The defendant is a student, but so is the victim. So they protecting students and feel like a student got hurt, and maybe they would feel, what are you talking about? See how it falls apart? See how it don't make much sense? So what they're trying to say is that they feel that the black woman would be biased, not because of race, but because Karmelo Anthony is a student, and so was Austin. And they're going to feel conflicting, not because of anything they said, not because of that bullshit people keep repeating about, oh, it's a brother, I can't do it, I couldn't put another brother in jail. Not because of that, they didn't say that. These black women, these women did not make any statement, anything along those lines. Nothing they said disqualified them from serving on the jury. That's just something uninformed black and white people say online who don't know shit, who haven't taken the time to look up anything. And then they want to tell you about how the jury system works. Here's the thing, and this is where I'm pissed, because I'm wondering why the defense didn't make more of an issue. Because it doesn't pass the smell test for me. If you say you don't want any teachers on the jury, as dumb as that is, why is it that you have a white teacher on the jury? So you don't want these black teachers on the jury, but you got a white teacher on the jury. But you're telling me it's not race. Their response to that question was something like, well, these teachers teach at schools, and this teacher teaches at a school, but it's like a beauty school. So it's different. What? They're both teachers, right? They both teach students, right? So see, all they had to do is say, we're going to kick the white lady too. But they didn't want to do that. But see, this is the part that these scumbags don't want to address, and I've been addressing, I've been beefing with these people online, and I don't mean comment section, I mean like this. It's horrible. It's horrible. Attorney Andrew Bronca, he's a lying scumbag, omitting truth. And then now it's Glenn Black too. Glenn Black. This asshole. So they said it was a race neutral reason. How is it neutral on race? If you say it's because of occupation, then you should have no one on the jury with the same occupation. Teaching is an occupation. And if you're going to strike teachers because the two boys were students at schools, what about other shit? I mean, like, you might as well say no women, because women have babies. And these are both, they once upon a time were babies. They came out their mother's womb, and maybe they're going to look at Austin or look at Karmelo and see a son like the one they have at home, and then they'll be conflicted. You understand what I'm saying? So where do you draw the line on that dumb shit? Obviously, it was only said to cover your tracks on a racial basis for striking. But we can't say that. We got to prove it, right? That's why this Bastion challenge is not everything that it's cracked up to be. It's flimsy. But it is not about fact. It's not about like attitudes. It's not about evidence. It's about the process, so that a process can get you an appeal. Because this is a factor who's on the jury is a deciding factor if Karmelo Anthony gets convicted or not, if he gets manslaughter or not, if you get a hung jury or not. This is everything. And you got to go to war for this. You got to go for war on it. So Bronco can talk all this shit and these other, tap dancers for the establishment. Say whatever they want to say. But this, folks, is a point that's going to be addressed. And it's possible. It is possible. The defense said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to fight it too hard. If we lose, we'll be able to come back on these grounds. That's what we'll do. It could be part of the strategy to come back on those grounds, knowing this is something they might be able to come back on. Now, that's my point. That's how I see it. Let me know what y'all think. The Bastion Challenge is what it's called. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where we at. Let's keep it moving, fam. Let's keep it moving. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn Beck, for being as bad as I always remember you being. I appreciate you, sir.
A white person to hit a black boy and get away.
That's it.
Yeah. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
They seen a mess. Yeah.
We love y'all.
It ain't the end of the road.
We love y'all.
That's his uncle.
We know the truth. Bias, racist. Y'all done became our family too. Y'all done brought us too.
You did a good job. We seen everything. Riot, we got railroaded.
I'm from Baton Rouge. I promise you. I know how it is. I moved out here from Baton Rouge. The same school.
We love y'all.
We love you.
We love y'all. We love y'all.
Hold on.
That's the family.
I gotta put y'all from my city. Hey, hold on. I got you. My Baton Rouge.
We love y'all.
My Baton Rouge people.
Free Karmelo. Free Karmelo. Free Karmelo. Free Karmelo. Free Karmelo. Free Karmelo. We love y'all. I'm telling you. God got the last say so. God got the last say so. God got the last say so.
You know what? For a minute there, I was getting a little tick. You know what I'm saying? A little frustrated with it. But then I had to think about it. Those people have been standing out there for several days, like, coming back and forth for the trial, and their supporters. The woman that you saw there, that was the grandmother of Karmelo. Yeah. So, yeah, you want to show them some love, and they want to reciprocate that love to the people that have been protesting. Prejudice, racism, bias. Prejudice, racism, bias. And that's what they were chanting.
Also, I mean, can we just be real about this? Like, who is, I mean, like, why you rolling up on somebody and being like, get out? Like,
Correct.
This is, to me, this is the culture that is being instigated. Yeah. Mostly because of like, y'all know how we say on the internet, don't let your president get you fucked up, right? Like, because people get bold. They get real bold with us right now, like, and this whiteness and this replacement theory crap that they on and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, we the victims, because the fact that, any kid would feel like it makes sense to walk in and see this particular kid. I mean, we've all interpreted that there was a race component to this. Yes. And be like, oh, yeah, it's raining, but get out. Like, why? Like, why?
Exactly.
Next up. All right, hold on, guys. Hold on, man. You know, I saw this earlier. I don't even know if I watched the entire clip. I watched a portion of the clip, and I thought, okay, I agree with her on this part. That some people be showing their ass now. What I don't agree with is what she did there. She slid in a damn replacement theory shit. She's talking about immigrants again. You know, that's it. She just can't help herself. You're out of office. You're out of office come January. I know you want to come back to Jamaica. Anybody remember those commercials? Come back to Jamaica, some bullshit. Never was in Jamaica, so that was difficult to wrap my head around that. Jasmine Crockett, I don't know what's wrong with her. Someone pointed out that she hasn't had anything to say up to this point. Why start talking now? I mean, I gotta agree. Well, all of a sudden you got some voice. All of a sudden now you got some words you want to throw out there. This is something that you should have been talking about. I mean, this has been going on for quite a while. We've been talking about this all week. And now you come out, now it can be no help, now that it's over, now that he's been sentenced. Now comes the woman in Congress. And that's the whole point, fam. That's what I've been saying. These people do not support us. They're just there for their own career ladder, their own advancement. I mean, how much clearer can it be? I mean, fam, even if you wanted to pretend like you were down with us, wouldn't you at least been out here when the trial was going on? I mean, you didn't have to do shit. I'm not saying go jump in front of a bus or nothing. I'm saying, but you could have tweeted. You could have posted a video. You could have did something. But now it's time for the Democrats to come out and start grandstanding. No, I'm not going for it. And by the way, they didn't come out with Rick Chow either. Yeah, I haven't seen her on Rick Chow, because see, and see, this is what it is. This is what it is. The fake presentation that they are supporting us is not going to work with us. There are too many of us now that are calling it out. And even if you are slipping for 2 seconds, you as a viewer, if you don't catch it, you watch one of us point it out, you'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't see that one. You got me. Thank you. Because we have watchdogs now. And the watchdogs are watching. So this type of swashbuckling Sambo activity, this type of BS, fake narrative, fake pretending like they're riding for us when they're really not doing the work. You know, I tell people, look, man, you're going to have to shit or get off the pot. You have to be real or step aside. I'm not saying you got to be down for Black America. Stop pretending like you are. It's all I ask. Stop wearing a veneer. Stop wearing the fake rollie. Stop pretending. When you know you got zirconias on, stop pretending that you iced out. Stop pretending that you iced out for Black America if you want some fugazi. That's all I'm saying, and I'll leave you be. But as long as you project, as long as you posture, and pose, and sashay, and do all this other nonsense, well, then we're going to call it out. Because I can't have my people thinking that you're riding for us when you're not. We had a whole 14-year-old's life taken by an Asian man who was just couldn't wait to kill. He was like Pinky. He was like Pinky in next Friday. Was it next Friday? Say something else. He was itching. Rick Chow was itching to kill a ninja. And he finally got a chance to do it. And he walked. And what did Jasmine Crockett say? What did Jamal Bowman say? What did Ilhan Omar say? What did Ayanna Pressley say? What did any of them say? Nothing. But I see people write op-eds for other shit. I see you writing your op-eds. I see you writing your Medium articles. I see your Substack. Why wasn't we something black in your Substack? Why was your medium a super smedium? Why was your medium extra smedium? Get what I'm saying? Because they weren't writing about us. They weren't talking about us. What about AOC up there doing her live streams? Where was the live stream about Cyrus Belton? Where was the live stream about Karmelo Anthony? And see, hey, look, I got no problems. Kamala Harris is a whole former vice president. Where's her, statement? Where's her performance? Where's her standing up? See, all I'm asking, look, I get it. Don't want to put forth the political capital. Don't want to have anything to say. Stop telling me how bad Trump is. You ain't doing shit either. Stop telling me how bad the Republicans are. Congressional Black Caucus didn't do shit either. Stop telling me how bad everybody else is when you are pathetic. At least they're not saying they're riding for us. These people did not lift a finger. So all I'm saying is keep that same energy come November. Don't be sending Obama to come out here. Oh, come on now. Come on, guys. What are your votes? What are you doing? Don't boo, vote. Don't throw shit, vote. Don't play games, vote. Let me go get Wendell Pierce. Let me go get Wendell Pierce and Jeffrey Wright. Because we need the blacks to vote. We need black men. Come on, Pookie, get off the couch. That bullshit, fam. Where was Obama? Where was Michelle? Don't tell me how great she is. Don't tell me, I really like Michelle. Michelle got a whole platform. What excuse does she have? She got a podcast. See, I'm a problem. I'm saying what you would say if you was me. Yeah. Michelle Obama. Rich. Couldn't spend all the money she has no matter what she does. Secret Service protection 24/7. Powerful. One of the most powerful black women in the history of black women. Do you realize that? And she has a platform and a microphone. And then she do a segment on Cyrus Carmack Belton. Did she use her platform? I know. But you can't talk about her, Tim. That's our sister. You don't get it. That makes it much worse. That makes it much worse. Because she is our sister. Get it? Is it making sense now? Is that sinking in? Is that... Man, somebody give me a 1-up. Can I get a 1 in the comment section if it makes sense what I'm saying? It's just that I want people to grow up. Look, man, we don't get the world we want. We get the world we have. We don't get to make up our own reality. We got to accept reality and endeavor to change it and make it better. But you can't do any of that if you don't acknowledge you got issues. All right, man. I'm trying to wake people up, man. Make people realize what time it is. That's all I'm doing. Full-time job, Johnson. Full-time job. Where we at here?
Up with Tim Black. Next up with Tim Black.
All right, I need to point out what the fucking prosecutors just said in his closing statements, because this shit, we're in fucking kangaroo court right now. First off, the prosecutor told the jury that if they thought that Austin impaled himself on that knife, I don't know what to tell you. If you think that's the case, find him guilty of manslaughter. The problem is, it is your responsibility to provide proof beyond a reasonable doubt that that didn't happen. And you said that he shoved it into him. Where's the evidence of that? There is no evidence of that. We just know the result. Why is that a problem? Because if you are intending to take another's life, it speaks to your mental culpability, and you needed to intend to do that. And we have no evidence of that. In the opening statements, prosecutor said, we're going to show you guys video of this. The video didn't show shit. And that's why I told you, Karmelo's silence, his defense team didn't say shit about this. It's the most important element, it's the most important moment of the fucking entire case, and there is no evidence. Much less proof beyond a reasonable doubt that he shoved it into him. There's no evidence of that. And the prosecutor just admitted that in his closing statements. And then he went on to say another crazy motherfucking thing. He told the jury, like, yeah, Karmelo warned him that he had a weapon. Austin didn't believe him. Karmelo should have brought it out and brandished it. That's essentially what the fuck he said. By the way, 95% of the circumstances, that's going to be felony menacing. It's what I'm facing right now because two dudes tried to roll up on my car and I faked. I faked that I had a weapon, told him to stay the fuck back. And they're like, oh, he had a gun. Felony menacing. Prosecutor in open court just told the jurors that Karmelo was responsible to felony menace these guys before he could stand his ground. I don't know how improper that is. That might be plain air review. That's how bad that fucking statement was. Because it was a complete misapplication of the motherfucking law by the prosecutor. Kangaroo motherfucking court. This shit is crazy, dude.
Okay, so I just want to I want to address what he said here because these are a couple points that I missed. So in the closing argument, apparently, the prosecutor pointed out that they did not know if Karmelo stabbed him or if he fell into the knife. Now, here's the thing, family. If Karmelo didn't stab him, and if they don't know that, how could he get a murder charge? If someone fell into the knife, that would be like negligent at worst, right? Because maybe you should have secured it in a way where no one could get hurt by it. But if someone fell into it, is that murder? So how'd they prove that if he just said he didn't prove that? How did the prosecution prove murder? Because murder is intent. Under Texas law, one of the elements of murder is intention. Knowingly and intentional. That's what the statute says. And if the prosecution is saying they don't have proof that he intended that he was stabbing him, that could be it. Or it could be that Karmelo, who was actively moving towards him, could have just fell onto it. So theoretically, what I'm saying is, it's possible Karmelo took the knife out to say, hey, get off me, and then comes Austin falling on the knife. That could have been what happened. Part of my argument has been that I felt that this was a humongous mistake, a horrific mistake. I know he did not mean to kill Austin Metcalf. And now it's like, wow, looking at it from this point of view, he might not even meant to stab him. Because if he meant to stab him, I think the knife goes in further. These are just my thoughts. There was another point he made. So the prosecution also said, they say, well, if Karmelo he warned Austin Metcalf to look, I got something in the back, look, I got something. And they said, since Austin did not believe that he had something, that Karmelo had a duty to show him, to prove to him he had something, to give Austin yet another chance to listen to him when he said, don't hit me. Young man says, hey, somebody was messing with me. I was in my car. I told them to back up and I acted like I had a gun. They called the cops and said, I showed a weapon. I didn't have a weapon. I wished like I was going for a weapon. And they charged me as if I had one because they said I intended to brandish a weapon that I didn't even have. Now, I don't know if that's all true, but that's what he's saying. And he's saying brandishing is against the law. And the prosecution said that's what Karmelo had to do in order to prove that he wasn't trying the intention to kill someone, is show them the weapon to prove that he had it. So it's crazy, right? That makes sense to me. That makes sense to you? So if someone says, man, I got a gun, back up off me, and you go, no, you don't. You can't just listen. Couldn't just listen to the guy. Couldn't just, okay, well, maybe I don't want to find out. Maybe you talk stuff as you walking away. That's what I would do. Talk shit as walking away. Oh, you old punk ass, you got no damn gun. Where we going? We getting out of here. Because he could have one. I don't know him like that. And I'm gone. Right? Isn't that what we do? Because we want to be here tomorrow. We have a life we want to continue to live. It ain't great, but it's ours. It's the only one we know we get. So we kind of want to spend it above the dirt for as long as possible. And I'm not saying, once again, I'm not saying that it's cool that Austin was taken out. That's not cool. That's not what this is about. I know every once in a while I got to kind of remind people of that, you know, because they draw conclusions. It's sort of like when I talk bad about the Democrats, they think obviously it must be Republican. And they don't stick around long enough to find out to just write shit. Write me long emails and DMs. So, no, that doesn't mean we think it's cool, but what I'm saying is if someone says they got a gun or someone says they have a knife or someone says they got something, just believe them.
Next up with Tim Black.
We love justice for Karmelo. Justice for Karmelo.
Okay.
We got this. We got this. We overcame this.
Have another home run. Beginning. My bad.
Next up with Tim Black.
Let her talk. This was a legal lynching that happened in here today. Exactly what happened. We can't hear. All right. I said as a former prosecutor, this was a legal lynching that happened in this slaughterhouse. This is a slaughterhouse. This is not a courthouse. This courthouse is designed when you will come here and you look like us to slaughter you. That judge intentionally.
I wish I could hear the rest of what she was saying here. I think what I could make out from what she was saying is that this is a slaughterhouse and that it's intentional for them to slaughter us when we come to this courthouse. And I've been learning through this case that Collington County has a reputation. Collington County is not that fond of the blacks. Neither is Texas in general, if we're keeping it honest. So that's what she was pointing out. And I tend to believe her. I don't know anything about her. I think she's a former attorney. That's where we are. All right, folks, let's go to my commercial look. I got my sponsor of tonight's show with Saga Metals. Saga Metals, we're glad to have them as a sponsor. Check out my content on them, and we'll come back and we will proceed with the show. Visit them in the link description below. Now, a few weeks ago, I mentioned Saga Metals on the channel, trading as SAGMF in the US and SAGA in Canada. This is a company that I mentioned several times on the channel before. I'm back to talk about them again a lot sooner than I expected. That's because some major things may be happening. A lot has happened in a short period of time. Major developments are unfolding, and it looks like they may have another home run. What they've done in the last 6 months may change the scale of the company. In less than 48 hours ago, they achieved 100% drill rate in all 57 holes, all ahead of time. And that's just the beginning. The company added $10 million to its bank account and put all that money into drilling entirely. This is adding fuel to an already accelerating program. You step back and look at what Saga has achieved in less than 6 months. The pace is hard to ignore. A 100% hit rate in all drilling at the Radar Project, an area being positioned as the largest titanium host in all of North America. A strategic titanium acquisition scooped from under $100 billion giant Rio Tinto, located in the same district as the largest titanium mine in the world. And just last month, the acquisition of the Wolverine Project, that project sits along the coast of the same billion-dollar Voisey Bay discovery, one of the most significant mineral discoveries in history. When you step back and look at the momentum that's building, 2026 has already been highly active. And the second half is looking to be even more exciting. How can this all be achieved in such a short space of time? The reason is simple. America's supply chain depends on titanium. And that's why Washington has already committed $12 billion into Project Vault, alongside additional federal support aimed at securing domestic and allied supply. In less than 12 months, America's taken a series of critical major steps to secure mineral supply chains, including Executive Order 1421. In a major ministerial, it's bringing together 55 foreign ministers focused directly on critical minerals. As the U.S. and its allies move to secure the future, Saga Metals is positioning itself directly where the money, the mandates, and the momentum are flowing. They're exploring the exact minerals that sit at the foundation of advanced aerospace, next-generation weapon systems, and stealth technology, the unseen backbone of defense. And the reality is increasingly clear. North America needs what it currently does not have, and the direction of travel from Washington is becoming even more defined. Onshore it, secure it, fund it, and mine it. I'll leave you with this. One of the standout aspects of Saga Metals' achievements in the last 6 months is scooping another titanium project from under Rio Tinto, a company roughly 3,500 times larger by market value. This takes skill, patience, and execution. Look at the numbers, do the math. If you want to learn more about this critical mineral story, check the link in the description. A special thanks to Saga Metals for making today's video possible.
Next up with Tim Black.
So what kind of lawyer do you want? Do you want an aggressive junkyard dog who's going to fight for you hard? Or do you want some...
No, that's what I want. Fuck, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want a junkyard dog. A junkyard dog that ain't ate in 3 days and 3 nights. Maybe longer if it's got enough energy left. Drinking no doses, smoking weed. Give me a junkyard dog, an animal. I want an animal. I want a sadistic jackass. I want a narcissist. Cold-blooded killer is what I want. I don't want no Rudy Poo, ass kisser, diplomat. You hear this guy? Who looked at his application to hire this guy? Was it that guy from the National Non-Action, whatever that is, Network Association of Failed Black Lives Matter organization, or whatever that is? Splinter cell of BLM. Oh God, who came up with this guy? Where'd they get this guy from? I want a junkyard dog, sir. 2 of them. 2 tree of them. I want 2 tree junkyard dogs. What kind of question is that? Shit.
Up with Tim Black.
So what kind of lawyer do you want? Do you want an aggressive junkyard dog who's going to fight for you hard? Or do you want somebody who has a reputation as, easy to get along with? The answer might surprise you. While of course it's important to have somebody who fights for your rights and stands up for you, if they are that aggressive junkyard dog, the risk can be that they end up being obnoxious or offensive to judges.
Do I win my case? Fuck all that. Do I win my case with the junkyard dog? Because we just saw what Karmelo got. Karmelo got the nicer, gentler Mormon, whatever you are. A cross between a Mormon and one of the guys from Deliverance. And that didn't seem to work out too good for him.
To prosecutors and even to juries if your case goes to trial. And so having somebody who knows how to walk that balance, who knows how to stand up for your rights and fight for you, but knows how to do it at the right time and how to do it, that walk softly, carry a big stick mentality.
It seems to me like you didn't fight at all. Where's the fight moment? No one wrote about the time during the trial that you went ballistic, that you went hard in the paint. I didn't see it. Folks, did anybody hear of a time where the defense attorney for Karmelo Anthony went hard in the paint during this trial? And the court was like, damn, I didn't know he was like that. Damn, he a bad mofo. Damn, he ain't playing games. I don't think that time existed for you. I don't think you took any outside shots. You didn't do any buzzer beater. You didn't do any knockout punches. You didn't do shit. You ran around the ring. dancing and shit. He didn't land any punches. So Karmelo got knocked out.
That they have a good reputation. That makes all the difference in the world, in my opinion. You know, I have cultivated a reputation at the courthouses in which I work as somebody who fights for their clients. And if you go to trial, I'm going to give you a hard.
How many cases have you won? Because I just saw you lose a major case. How many losing cases have you had? How about that? What's your win-loss ratio? How about we talk about that? All this tipping and tapping and nice guy this and personality. Mr. Personality, you lost. And that may be okay for you, but it damn sure not okay for Karmelo Anthony and his family. That young man is not a murderer. And fucking with you, he's now a murderer. How about you take? It would have been decent of you to say, look, Karmelo, I'm in over my head. You need yourself a real attorney. Somebody who is going to fight for me, because I'm looking at you. I'm looking at what we're working with here, and shit, I don't see much. I don't see much. How about I refer you to somebody who's going to go in there and knock these motherfuckers out, because they're pretty racist. And they're going to fight dirty. And I'm just not a dirty fighter. I like to keep it clean above the belt. Yeah, I wondered if you could have been that forthcoming, that open, that real with Karmelo Anthony and his parents. And I'm sure they would have decided not to go with you. And I'm not just trying to blame this on you, but this sounds horrible. Just finding this ad that you put out. You want a junkyard dog. You don't want me. You want somebody. I get along with people. And yeah, and your clients lose. Give me the guy from The Wire that kept all the criminals out of jail. I want that guy. Yeah, give me that guy. Give me the scumbag that worked for the Sopranos or something. Give me somebody with some skin in the game who's willing to do what needs to be done to save my ass. Not this guy that wants to go have barbecues with the state's attorney, with the lead prosecutors. And give them birthday cards and Christmas gifts. Hanukkah gifts, presents.
Fought trial, but who's easy to work with, easy to get along with, and reasonable. That ends up benefiting my clients. It's not something where I'm intentionally, being something I'm not in order to get prosecutors to open up and talk to me. But my reputation as easy to work with ends up benefiting my clients. Prosecutors end up.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, fam, y'all gotta let me know if y'all feel what I'm saying here, man. All that's good and fine and everything, but does it really reap the benefits? Is that beneficial to the client? Because it did not seem to go so well for Karmelo Anthony. And maybe some of it is just the facts that you're with the jury that you have, and you're in the city that you're in, and the county that you're residing. And this is what we have. Okay, and I get that, fam. I'm not saying that there aren't situational occurrences, things in the environment that make it more difficult. But what I'm saying is I didn't hear about one standout moment that you had during this entire shit. I haven't ran across it. And I think there should have been moments where you knock the ball out the park. And if there's no moments where you knocking the ball out the park, maybe your ass shouldn't have been at bat. Because you're the guy. You're the guy. If you can't be the guy, why have you be the guy? That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to put it all on him. Folks, let me know what you think, if you get what I'm saying. I just do not recall anything that he did that was outstanding. And if you have a kid that's never been in trouble before in his life, in trouble, he needs somebody that's going to see the urgency and the desperation in this moment and rise to the occasion. And I didn't see that. I saw him put his arm around Karmelo after Karmelo was already, hit it to the gallows. And that doesn't help. Oh, great, you got a great bedside manner. How about keeping the patient alive? How about that part? How about winning the case? That's way more important. I'd say that's 100 times more important. Yeah, that's 100 times more important to win the case than it is to be nice, for people to like you. It's nice for you. It's good for you to be liked. It's only good for your clients if you being liked helps you win. And you're not even saying that. You're not even saying, I'm so likable, people just fall down and help me win. You're not even saying that. You're just saying, I'm really likable and people enjoy me. And I get a lot of cootie cat. I don't care about your cootie cat getting. I don't care about your gift cards. I don't care if you always remember people's names and greet them when they come in the room and I show them love. I don't care about that. W's and L's. Man, y'all let me know in the comment section, fam. Shit's ridiculous.
So this Karmelo Anthony defense, I've seen something like this before in person, but I was able to put a stop to it, thank God, for the defendant. A good friend of mine, when we were around 24 years old, got charged with a serious felony, and he was looking at 25 years in prison. Now, they didn't have a lot of evidence against him, but he didn't have much of a defense either. And he calls me one day from court. Now, he had paid a lawyer $15,000. And he calls me one day from court and he's freaking out. He's like, hey man, I don't understand what's going on. He's like, they said that trial starts tomorrow. And I said, excuse me? How do you not know that trial starts tomorrow, bro? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And I go, your lawyer hasn't even spoke to me. I was a witness in the case. And he's like, right? I go, who has your lawyer spoken to? What kind of investigation have they done? He's like, I don't know. And he's like, please, let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad. My dad was a former judge. I handed the phone to my dad. And he tells my dad, yeah, I don't understand what's going on. You know, what should I do? And my dad says to him, listen, I'm not your lawyer. I can't give you legal advice. But what I can tell you is that if you go to trial tomorrow, make sure you bring your toothbrush because you're going to prison. And he's like, what? He's like, it appears your lawyer has not mounted any kind of defense or done any work, you know, to not talk to witnesses. Sounds like your lawyer's throwing you to the wolves. So he went in there and in open court fired his lawyer, asked for continuance. I ended up going and helping him find a new lawyer who did a wonderful job, and he got acquitted. Yeah. So Karmelo Anthony's case reminds me of this. There were no adults in the room to tell him, bro, we don't have a defense here. We need to plea bargain. Like, this isn't going to work. And instead, they just let the prosecution run roughshod all over them for days and then mount a 4-hour defense. Shame on his attorneys.
Yeah, that's see what I'm saying now? I don't know if this is accurate or not. I'm not aware of, like, I can't speak to I can't speak to the performance. All I can tell you is the outcome is horrific. Right? That's all I can say is the outcome did not meet the moments, right? That's all we can say. Obviously, it's hard to do worse is all I'm saying. I mean, if what he's saying is even structurally correct, if it's even close in the ballpark, what he's saying is that they didn't do shit and then they tried for 4 hours to do you know what I'm saying? What kind of shit is that? And I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying there are clips like this out there. There are clips out there of people saying that the defense sucked. Not good. I think we're almost to the end, folks. Remember, this is the Tim Black Show. We live stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Hit the like button if you haven't done it already. It really helps us in the algorithm. Please hit the like button, folks. If you've been watching this long, you should subscribe. It's a free subscription. Subscribe to the channel. Put it in the, put it in your notifications. That'd be dope. We're almost done.
Sure. There's literally not a that likes these motherfuckers. Lazy, rude, obnoxious, arrogant motherfuckers. Nobody likes them.
And before I go any further, this is only for educational purposes only. Do your own research.
Yeah, that guy was talking about black people. He was saying black people are lazy, rude, and nobody likes us. And then this lady, this sister, is gonna kind of open people's eyes up. This is a clip I was saying where we're gonna show you why when Glenn Beck was talking about there are minorities on the jury, 40, 50% of the jury comprised of minorities. We didn't have any black people, but there was some minorities on the jury. And I just want to show you, as she shows us, what the minorities think of the blacks. Because people think we're a squad. Tell them about our squad, sis.
And use your own discernment to confirm the data that I've provided. Once again, this is not misinformation. Look at all these demographics coming together to stand against us. I'm Latino, we stand with y'all too. I'm Arab, and I stand with Austin McCaff. Native American here, we stand with you. I'm not surprised. We got another one. As a native, I stand with you. You don't say. What do we got here? Here to support my fellow good humans. I stand with you as an American Mexican.
These are all out of the comment section of this white guy who's shitting on black people. And these are all of the different people of different nationalities going, Filipinos here, we hate them too. Let's keep going.
Filipino here, I stand with you. As a Hispanic, I would agree with you 100%. American Asian here, and I couldn't agree more. Italian here, we stand with you. As a Peruvian, I stand with you. Oh, really? Latinos, Asians, and even some Pan-Africans standing against us. With these white tea folks. I'm Jamaican, and I stand with you. That's crazy. I'm African-American. 9 times out of 10, this is a Pan-African. Can I stand with y'all? I love that we can all admit it openly now. When I tell you, there was an overwhelming of comments like this. All those other comments like, I'm this, I'm that, I stand with y'all. I mean, I'm not shocked because it's always going to be us against damn near everybody else. But see, here's what they don't understand. I mean, y'all can stand with each other all y'all want. But let me tell y'all something. Like, we are so powerful, y'all. Like, you don't even understand. We are the ones that made it possible for every other demographic to come to our country and open up their businesses. We quite literally built the infrastructure of this country. We were the ones who fought for the civil rights that every other group is benefiting from now. And look at all these demographics banded together to hate us. I mean, and let's be honest, this is nothing new. We are the most hated people on this planet. But I tell you one thing, it's not going to go the way they think it's going to go.
Oh, my sister. I know that hurts you to read that, right? Young lady, let me tell you something. We are on our own. That's true. Some of us don't get that. Remember, we never talk in absolutes. Some people watching probably have some good friends. I do. I've got good friends that have been down with me for a long time. But I'm talking about, generally speaking, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Yeah. We don't have any friends. It's the fallacy of the Democratic Party that anybody likes anybody. Yes, it's a fallacy. It's bullshit. That's why the Republicans are doing well, because they're playing to the racists. And there are a lot of racists. So they just all band together. It's like all racists form Voltron, and they all they connect hands, and they just move tactically against anybody other than white. Because they don't want to go against white because there's so many white people, so they just go against the other. I'm pretty sure if there was a video shitting on Asians, there'd have been a lot of people on there too. Same thing with all the other groups. Because there is no people of color. There is no people of color coalition. these are lies. And the sooner the black people accept that, the better off we'll be. Yeah. So the whole idea that we're gonna, start shopping more often with our own people, that we're not gonna fraternize, we're not gonna patronize these other establishments from other groups who don't help fund our communities. That's real talk. That's what we need to do, and stop trying to get in where we don't fit in. They'll let you in as long as they benefit, but only enough to take advantage of you. I'm sorry this young sister had to watch that. She didn't know where to go. It's not like we built this shit for them to come here. That's the part. That's the part. We didn't sacrifice everything we sacrificed for the Democrats to bring all these people in. That's what they did. Get it? And that's what I'm pushing back on. It's pretty simple, man. If there was any love for us at all in this Democratic Party, if they were going to bring those people in, they would never brought them in without giving us a hate bill just for us. They never would have brought those people in if they weren't going to give us some form of reparations. They did neither. They did neither thing. And they just brought people in. I mean, what does that tell you? What's it tell you? I mean, common sense. What does it tell you? Michael Jackson's trending again. We know his favorite song. They don't really care about us. What else can you deduce from that? Now, you can be a goofball and say, Tim Black, you're using white supremacist talking points. Or you can admit I'm right. Shake your head, wipe your brow, have a strong drink, puff some whatever you puff on, and then say, what do we do about it? What the hell do we do about it? Because that's where we need to be. Stop debating me. Stop defending that party, and we can move on to what do we do? Because that's really where it is. You can keep pretending that water is not wet. Keep on thinking this stove when it's on isn't hot. You can keep on getting burn marks, or you can admit that this is the reality that we have, and now let's talk about what we do. Let's get a strategy together. If not for us, for our fucking kids. Grow up! Grow up, Black America. Grow up. Do it for your babies. I'm a dinosaur. You're a dinosaur, maybe. Let's do it for the babies. All right, now, check it out, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into the Tim Black Show tonight. You've been watching the most dangerous show in America. Go to timblacktv.com, become a member, starting at only $5 a month. I ain't here to break the bank. Just here to make it work. I want to thank my moderators for coming through, and I want to thank the Tim Black alumni for doing what they do.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Where's the Democratic Party? Chilling. They're the Jim Clyburn fish fry, bro. DJ? Come on, DJ. You know where they at. They at the fish fry with Clyburn. You want it fried hard or fried soft? I was frying some fish. That's what they doing, fam. Not worried about us at all. The Democrats. Thank you, Elizabeth Lundy, for being here tonight. Thank you, Nene's World, for being here tonight. I appreciate y'all. Good night, Jarrell, Jay, Rain Tears, thank you for being here as well, my friend. Yeah, man, I'm trying to step on the gas a little bit. I got to really, sometimes it takes criticism to like pull out your, and yeah, kind of get up, you know what I'm saying? Get up, get on up, get up, get on up. All right, that's all I got, though. I'm out of gas. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. Look, stay golden, pony boy. That was S.C. Hinton, Rumblefish. Look, I don't know why I remember that title because I read that book when I was in junior high school. All right, guys, check this out. Along with the Confessions of Nat Turner. Hey, how about this? Stay courageous, stay bold, but most of all, stay dangerous. Shout out to my brothers. Shout out to my sisters. Shout out to the people. My people, my people, my people. Be one. Number love for y'all. Now, look, I got reasons for doing what I do. I'm crazy. I'm a wild and crazy guy. No, I just believe you got to stand for something or you fall for anything. That's all. And I got a beautiful life and I got beautiful kids and I want them to have better lives than I did. So we got to go for it. Shout out to Iron Man Oz. Shout out to Buck Bewley, Ebony, Black Mamba, Nene, Rain of Tears, and Elizabeth in the building. Shout out to my brothers and sisters around the globe from all across the city, all across the country. It's all real, man. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. And I don't care if they ask nicely. Don't give them your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. I said that's all I got. I got to ask one last thing. Where are my ladies? I said, where are my ladies?